Detention, how can that harm vulnerable children?
What's interesting is that you use the term vulnerable children, and many of those children who are detained may well be vulnerable. They'll have been made vulnerable by situations in their countries of origin that's necessitated them to leave. They may have been vulnerable in flights and journeys across other countries. They may have been made vulnerable in their time in the UK, but they're not vulnerable per se. It's the situations within which they're put in. And Nick Clegg called detention centres state-sponsored abuse, and that is what is happening here. Detention facilities are harming children, and there are a range of ways in which they are both psychologically and physically harmed by their time in detention, and it has a direct correlation to their experiences in detention. So in detention facilities they may be witnessing extreme and acute distress from other detainees. They may be witnessing suicide attempts. They're in mixed environments, and also that distress may manifest in their own behaviour. So recent studies have shown children suffering from insomnia, bedwetting, soiling, refusing to eat or loss of appetite and therefore losing weight, sleep disturbances, and this has an ongoing effect in their lives even after they're released from detention centres. My own researchers explored this issue and found that mothers and their children experience ongoing, regardless of the short time they may have been detained.
You recently went as part of a delegation to the United Nations to explore detention in the UK. It's hoped that recommendations from the UN will now come out in the new year. What are you hoping will be those recommendations?
I mean, the recommendations of the UN will be much broader than just the issue of detention. However, it was a central focus and a central issue of concern for the UN across the globe. So what I hope is that first and foremost, documented and undocumented child migrants, who include children seeking asylum and children as families seeking asylum, will be recognised as children first and foremost. And the best interests of the child is central to this, so that regarding all action with the child or with the children's family, the best interests of children are always at the heart of any of those decisions. And also recognition that liberty is a fundamental human right, and therefore we see the ending of detention across the globe. It's unnecessary and it's harmful, and we understand this, and therefore I would like to see a UN recommendation that ends detention across the globe for all children.
The University of Huddersfield, inspiring tomorrow's professionals.